Hey, Warrior Saints, good morning. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to you, beautiful people. Glad to have you in. Yesterday, we got after it talking about don't be politically correct, just correct. And the reason that political correctness has become the plague is because nobody wants to be offended. And everybody is like, oh, how dare you say those things to me? And how dare you insult me or my group or whatever it may be? And while Warrior Saints never want to be insulting or to offend anyone without warrant, we also want to be able to speak the truth. And that means that we have to be able to look past other people being offended and speak the truth. We have to come from our core and from our gut, from the values of the gospel of Jesus Christ, and say truth. Now, here's a cool part of it. You don't have to say everything, right? I've learned over the years that, there are things that I think that I have said and like, well, maybe I shouldn't have said that. Maybe I didn't need to say it. I did say it, but it was probably better just to remain silent, right? Like sometimes it's better to say nothing. There's a great saying by Abraham Lincoln, better to be silent and be thought a fool than to open your mouth and remove all the doubt, right? So in other words, what he's saying is that like if you say nothing and people think you're a fool because you don't know anything, all right, I get it, but it's worse if you open your mouth and say, oh, hey, I'm a fool, right? Like you can see that sometimes things don't need to be said. But there are times where people need to speak. In order for us to speak truth, to be not offensive, but genteel, but truth-speaking men and women, we have to be unafraid to do that. And it means that we have to look bullies and those who want to like pressure us down right in the eyes and overcome that. That's what we're going to talk about tomorrow. What I'm interested in today is that if somebody says something offensive to you, how do you as a warrior saint handle that? It's like it's nouveau chic to be offended right now. Like everything's offensive. Oh my gosh, he said this and I'm so offended. I'm like, come on, man. How soft are you? How much of a pansy are you, right? Like, I mean, we've pansified the men in this world so that we're now offended by things. Men are offended all the time, not just ladies. And look, gals, don't get on my case, right? But there's like this, it's trendy to be offended. And I thought, how soft are you, right? People, not warrior saints, because we're striving to be genteel, but people out there are rotten and they're mean and they will say offensive things. Why do we give them the power over us to have their words offend us, right? Now look, like we said yesterday, if we're speaking truth, you better open your heart and open your mind and receive that and make yourself better. But if they're just trying to be silly or offensive for no good gain or no purpose, what's the big deal? Put on your big boy pants, grow some stones, and get through it, right? That's what it's all about. There is this beautiful verse I'm going to read to you from Proverbs. So the book of Proverbs, for those, I'm sure you all know, it's in the Old Testament. It is filled with wisdom literature. That's the genre of biblical literature that it comes from, wisdom literature, which means it's about being wise. And so listen to these words from chapter 19. Good sense makes a man slow to anger, right? Good sense. Like, we're not angry about everything, right? And as you know, living out there, everybody's angry all the time about everything, right? Like, and we get quick to anger. Like, what? You said it, and we fire off in rage. But good sense, says the proverbist, makes a man slow to anger. And here's the key. And it is his glory to overlook an offense. So you want to be glorified and crowned like a king, you put on the crown of glory, you better overlook an offense. You know that it's coming. You know that people are going to offend you, and in the world, you're being told that you should be offended by everything. But you're a warrior saint, at least striving to be one, and you are able to be glorified by overlooking an offense and keeping your anger slow burning and not letting it explode off the top. Now, that's a really hard thing to do, and I understand that, because I'm a hot-headed Lebanese dude who gets mad fast, right? So I'm fighting with you to control and slow the anger and overlook offenses. And in that, we've developed a powerful teaching about how to be slow to anger and how to overlook offenses and to be bold enough and strong enough to recognize that sometimes people say silly things. And so if you want a part of that, visit warriorsaints.org. That's it. Visit warriorsaints.org and join us on the way of the warrior saint as you are trying to overcome your anger, to be slow to take offense, and to say, I forgive, and overlook the offenses that people throw at you. As I said, it's not an easy thing to do, but you don't have to figure it all out by yourself, and you don't have to try to do it all by yourself. Imagine if there was like a gazillion of us warrior saints who were all overlooking offenses, slow to anger. Could you imagine the peacefulness that would be out there as opposed to what you see? right? So I'm encouraging you, I'm begging you, join us at warriorsaints.org, subscribe to the Way of the Warrior Saint. It's for your own betterment. It's really going to help you become the best that you can be. That's all. That's why we do it. God is good. He gives us the teaching. We take it, get it back to you, living it in our own lives. Join us. warriorsaints.org. Love you, beautiful people. We're going to be back tomorrow with some hard-hitting stuff about bullies. I'm going to say things you probably can't imagine Father Chris would say, but I'm going to say them. All of that, if you would like, share us. If you think somebody needs to see this, post it. We appreciate when you do that. Love you. See you tomorrow. And until then, keep walking on the way of the Warrior Saint.